This is my backyard. I got a little garden. I just barely weeded it. Took me 2 weekends to fully weed. I just bought the place in October. It's now June. Just wanna have a vegetable garden all set and ready for next year. I took all the weeds that I pulled over to here so they can dry. I got just grass that encroached from the yard. Some more grass here. That little pile on the back's what I pulled just to put all this stuff here. Got some long grasses. Some leafy stuff like dandelions and all the little guys. And then this viney stuff that has the broad leaves when they're in full. Got a little bit of milkweed and some other tall plant that I don't know what was. So, I got all this drying out here so I can turn it into biochar. I took down a pine tree that was standing right about there. Oh, that's confusing, isn't it? It was standing right there. There's the wood I got from it. It was just a little thing. But, same story. I have all of that, limbs and everything, drying out from it. I'm going to turn these into biochar tonight. I think they're brittle enough, which means they're dried out. Yep, broke right in half there. Bada bing, that's dry enough for me to light on fire. There's a bunch of trash and stuff in here now. So I'll get all this trash picked up as I go through and kind of get it all tealed up. Once I have it tealed up, I'm going to dump out my biochar, and then I'm going to take some grass clippings and fill the biochar up with grass clippings and just kind of teal the grass clippings in with the biochar. Let that kind of cook for about a week or two, and then it'll be activated and full of microbial stuff and living things going on in it. And then I'll till all of that into the soil, hopefully 1 foot deep. Alright, so I moved all my pine over to the garden. I also had some weeds that I dried out earlier. I just wanted a good comparison of how much fluff equals how much biochar, because this is all just kind of junk and not wood that you usually make charcoal out of, but that just makes it all the more renewable. So, I have a fire going. There's not a whole lot of smoke coming up off of this. It's pretty clean. I like to keep it that way because I'm in a residential area and I like to keep an open flame burning in it, because if there's flame, that means there's gases that are not oxygen, so the carbon content is not oxidizing and only the volatile organic compounds are burning off, so that I get as much carbon retention as possible and as little ash creation as possible. So now it's starting to smoke a little bit, getting a little less flame. Time to add some more. Getting a little bit of ash there on the top. That's okay, because I want it to cook all the way through. I don't want to have any non-cooked spots. So I have quite the fire going. It's doing pretty good. Took my hose and soaked the ground around the pit because this keeps happening. Easy enough. So I have a lot of ash going up on top here because the cuts in the side, squiggly lines here, are bringing in a lot of oxygen from the direction of the wind or the breeze, and so it's all kind of just bunching up the coals up under that grate. So I'm trying to keep it over there as much as possible, but it's kind of creating just an area for it to, you know, further oxidize everything I put up there. That grate's kind of more of a pain in the butt. It's probably better that this didn't have oxygen slits in it to operate as a fireplace for what I'm trying to do with it, but it makes for a great fireplace. Just not a great charcoal thing. So now I have this hole right here where it could have a lot of coals because there's so much oxygen inundating the environment. But use what you got available. This is what I had, this is what I'm doing. Nothing's stopping me. Got most of this used up. Bada bing. I'm a pyro, and I love it. So we get it all the way down to this point where we have no flame and no smoke. Unfortunately, this method of making biochar produces a little bit of ash on the top. But you see, if I dig into here, all of this isn't oxidizing, and the oxygen that's getting to it at all is just getting to the top. It's not getting down in because it's getting all used up to oxidize just the top layer. So this little bit of ash you see is all that there actually is. Alright, so we have no smoke and no flame. We'll just double check on that. What you're seeing there coming up is that ash. As I'm stirring it, it's rising in the hot air. Okay, no smoke, no flame. Here we go. Have to make sure there's no hot spots left, or else when I come back tomorrow morning, this whole thing will be a pile of ashes. Plop. Coals. Oh, good job. Thank you. You're spraying it all over the place. Here, let me help. Nah. Woo! So this is not just to put out the fire, but also to try to wash all of the ash all the way to the bottom. So there's just coals. Bada bing! Got my biochar. I pick it all up, take it over so I can dry it up. Move it all over to where I can dry it out, and then I could use it for, get out of there, dog, for making briquettes. or I could use it for biochar, but it has to be dry to make briquettes out of it, so I just clean it all up and dry it out, put it away until it's time to use it for whichever I come about to needing first. Rock. Also, to keep the kids out of it, I just go put it in the dog kennel, and it does a better job of keeping animals out of it than really keeping any animals in there. So I'll just leave the junky dog kennel up. I have to pick through this when I spread it out later. Bada bing. Alright, in the dog kennel, I'll go get another bucket full and I'll spread this out. Fun times. Alright. Okay. This is a process that is not enjoyable at all. Going through here and getting everything out that isn't charred. But oh well. I love it. So when stuff like this comes up, I can just keep on going. But I said earlier that I have to have it dry to make briquettes. I don't. I have to have it dry to grind it. And I don't think it'll make good briquettes this chunky. But I don't have a way to grind this other than a couple of rocks and grinding it and hammers and bags and massively inefficient ideas. So I'll just do biochar for now until I can figure out a good inexpensive way to grind that isn't costing me a lot of electricity and killing the whole point to the energy idea behind it. But as you can see, it's just a long process of picking stuff out of it. I try to get this about maybe 2 inches thick tops, get it all spread out so it can dry out. Doesn't help when it rains, but this is what I have available to me. It's already got bugs going through it and everything. It's starting to create an ecosystem already, which is awesome. Once you dry it out, all of that should stop. As soon as I get it wet again and reactivate it, it'll keep going. But at least the biochar doesn't degrade